The elephants in the room. Real Housewives of Durban.
Yeah.
Season 5. I'm a viewer.
Yeah.
You are a commentator and critic. What would you say, or how would you respond to me saying that we need a South African reality TV break?
Really?
As viewers, based on 2025.
Why do you say so? What happened in 2025?
2025, I don't know what we got or what we expected and what we got. I don't know.
You know what? I don't think we need a break.
Mm-hmm.
I think we did well. Just that this year, I think there's many factors at play here. On us, the receivers or the viewers, we have become very sensitive over time. We've become very sensitive. But you also need to understand where that sensitivity comes from. Most of us were bullied in primary schools and high schools. So when you see that manifest on screen, it really strikes a chord. You feel as if it's history repeating itself, right? So that's why people have become very sensitive. But at the same time, I think also with the producers, in an aim of getting viewership, they thought drama still sells. Drama has been selling, it is true, but now times do change. Maybe this is a season where drama does not sell, honestly. You know, people are sensitive. So hence it's very important if you're a producer for you to understand the trends, to understand where people are. You know, back in the day, people could get away with a lot. Right now, what we see, guys, is just nothing, honestly. I've seen worse on reality TV. It's just that at the state that we are in, I need the producers to know that right now, you don't play with certain things like bullying, body shaming, racism. We are hyper sensitive as viewers. So I think it's just producers need to be more aware, but also us on the other side as viewers, we are also very sensitive. You know, watching reality TV has become so triggering these days, you know? Yeah.
Speaking of social media, there's a lot of division, left side versus the right side.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I feel like a lot of cast members now, they speak from a point of social media, and we often miss them. We don't get to see them because on the previous season, we saw people saying that you are to this, you are to that. What role do you think social media is playing well and not so well?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a great question. You know, what made the Real Housewives of Durban season 1 a success is because there was limited access to social media back then, so people did not really have so much energy on social media, right? The show was a success, and the ladies did not have pressure to perform for social media or wanting to be liked by social media. They were just doing their thing, and we just fell in love with them, right? But as the years progressed, social media has become the court, you know, the verdict, whereby if you're guilty, you're guilty. If you're not, you know, so you find that sometimes reality TV stars do stuff wanting to impress people. Someone's going to be like, no, I'm going to be quiet this season, you know, because I want people to think I'm a nice girl. You find that maybe your silence offends people. And then now next season, you're like, oh, I'm going to be more loud next season because, you know, people end up becoming dictated by what social media say and not becoming authentic. You know, when I'm looking at someone like Her Majesty on season 1 was just a force to be reckoned with, right? But as time progressed, Her Majesty, she started losing a spark, man, you know? And it's because of that pressure from social media. She doesn't know now, how should I act? You know, should I be too much? Should I not do too much? Even when you look at Uthando Nesthembu, Makhumalo used to be opinionated, but on the previous season, which is season 8, we saw her becoming very quiet and reserved because
they said, we are papa.
You know, we are papa.
Yeah.
Why are you always speaking?
Yeah.
And now, I don't know, I would say if you're a reality TV star, just do you. Just do you. Don't focus much on social media. Yes, you can take a little bit of constructive criticism there because there's always stuff on social media, but it's up to you to say, hey, I will take this as constructive criticism. Maybe I need to work on this, but don't change who you are because for the casting directors, when they casted you, they looked at your personality and fell in love with that. That's what we want to see.
Yeah.
Not a version that has been created by social media.
Speaking of casting, I am watching the latest season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Oh, yeah.
OG. Obviously, some of the cast members have fallen off, like Candy and Minnie, but they recently just fell off.
Yeah.
They were there from season 1 up until. And I feel like a downside of South African reality TV shows is how people just come in for a season and then they fall off of the next one. And I feel, or I am of the opinion that they sort of use us. You come on the spotlight, you are exposed to millions of viewers, you go from 200 likes to 2,000 likes to 7,000 likes, and then after that you leave us, you push your business, but you are riding off the wave
Of the show.
Which is, how does that work?
You know what? I think it's it's based on each individual. What are your goals? When producers, or rather when casting directors approach you and say, hey, let's do Houses of Durban, and it's up to you to say, but most of the time I think people are normally there for a long time. Or let me just say, maybe people no longer have staying power, like I don't know, like Nonku. I feel like, hence with Nonku, I'm not angry that she left the show or she did not come to the reunion on season 5 because she had that staying power, from season 1 to season 5. I feel like people, maybe with bit of misunderstanding, backlash, someone is like, let me just leave, But also, you need to understand there's no money in reality TV, honestly. So I wouldn't also blame people for just coming in and saying, let me ride on the wave and build on that name of the show, because there's no money in reality TV.
Oh, yeah.
There is no money, honestly.
Compared also to the work that goes into shooting a season or the time that you need.
Yeah, there's no money in reality TV, honestly. But for example, you film a season, like you're given 3 months, right, to do a season.
Yeah.
And within those 3 months, you have to sort of drop everything.
Sure.
Maybe if you're running a business, you have to focus on this. Call time could be at night. It could be there's a cast trip. You have to go maybe to another country. It's a lot. And also what you get sometimes is not always enough, And I can't blame production. It'd be like, production doesn't want to pay people. That's why there's money, but there's little investment in reality TV, because people look at reality TV as just a cousin of normal film and movies and whatnot. It's just like, it's reality TV, it's trash, There's not much investment, as if, for example, if you're watching Ushaga Ilembe, there's a lot of sponsors around the show. Whereas with reality TV show, sponsors are they're very skeptical in terms of investing in reality TV, because also reality TV people can go for the jugular. So sponsors are very finicky about associating with reality TV, because these ladies, for example, as a sponsor, if someone says to another cast member, you work on your back, I work on my feet, as a sponsor, do you really want to be associated with that? So there's not really much of people in commercial or sponsors who want to associate with reality TV, because it's always looked down upon, in a way, compared to your normal film and TV shows.
I get you. I think I am of the opinion that when we lose people, when we see people for 13 episodes and they don't come back, it sort of takes away, having seen Portia from season 3 up until season 14, it makes you, and I think you know about her.
Yeah.
You were there when she was pregnant. Her daughter is now 8.
Right.
She met, her first marriage, the divorce. And I think that's why I'm saying we need a reality TV break. We need to regroup and come back.
Well, that is not gonna happen. And that's not gonna happen. It's good to be ambitious.
Yeah, because it's very unfair. And I feel like with South African people,
Yeah.
you invite us into your life.
Yeah.
And now when real life starts to happen, like if your house is getting auctioned,
Or you're getting a divorce.
or if you're getting a divorce, and then suddenly, wait, you don't want us anymore. So yeah, which one is it?
Can I tell you? It also
Yeah.
goes to money. For me, I think money. You ask yourself, what do you mean money?
Yeah.
In the States, you find someone like Portia saying, "Hey, I'm getting a divorce, and it's, and this is my storyline. Can I negotiate a high rate for me to sell my story?" Reality TV is all about reciprocation. I'm selling you my story. You are giving me compensation. So someone would be like, why should I be giving you my story when I'm not gonna get
Gotcha.
enough, right? So it also goes back to money. People are like, okay, there's a brewing storyline right now in my life. Maybe I'm losing a car. I'm losing this. The money that I'm getting on the show has to make sense for me to be able to be that vulnerable, So for me to be vulnerable, you need to offer me like a good rate, right? So if I'm a producer and I can see that someone is going to lose a car, for example, let's say someone is going to get arrested on the show, and then maybe they're telling me that, hey, I might get arrested anytime. I would be willing to pay them good money because we're going to see drama, something that we've not seen before, right? So people are like, is it really worth it for me to sacrifice my dignity for imalengeko?
Got you. Speaking of numbers, what are the round figures or estimates of reality TV?
First of all, it depends with the reality show you're on. No, most shows are trials. You find them saying, "Hey, we're doing a show, but we just want to test if it's working, right?" And normally with those shows, they can approach you and give you like little to none, honestly, because they're just saying, "Hey, let's put it out there and see if it's gonna work." And then maybe the show really becomes a success, and they're like, on season 2, no, honestly, it is a success. You can then negotiate a better rate, And then you find it depends with the nature of the show. Then you find shows like which are international shows, like adaptations, like your Housewives, all these shows. Those ones, yes, they do have money, but you also have to take into account that a lot of money goes abroad for the license. Shows like Housewives, since people are like, why is this Housewives franchise not renewed? It's because there's a huge chunk of money that goes from South Africa to pay for the license for the show, for us to have the show. Whereas it's better producing shows like the Mummy Club because those are homegrown shows compared to Housewives. And Housewives, you have to pay, thousands of dollars, to NBC for you guys to obtain the license, right? So I think so. It depends with the show that you're in and also the years. For example, if you are an OG, you've been an OG on the show, of course you're gonna get, good money.
A bigger bag.
You're gonna get the bigger bag.
Yeah.
And if you're a newbie, you'll get there. You'll get there. But OGs make more money. So you find that someone like a Her Majesty, for example, I mean, she's worth it, She has worked for herself, as Sorisha and Nonku, So I think it depends. I cannot necessarily specify the figures, but it depends with your status on the show, and how many years have you been there. Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
Let's do a top 5
Yeah.
of the Real Housewives of Durban.
Yeah.
Who are your top 5 ladies?
Ever, like in the entire franchise.
Yes.
Ooh, you're gonna put me in trouble.
You have to name 5 in your top 5. The big 5.
Big 5. Okay,
Yeah.
I think Nonku there at number 1.
Oh.
She's, I think Nonku, her level of vulnerability. I've never seen someone who opens up about every aspect of her life, honestly. And I think she is what reality TV is about, honestly. So she's there at number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Can I do a tie?
No, sir.
I'm going to say Ayanda Ngwane.
Number 2.
Yeah, number 2.
Okay.
Ayanda was fun.
Who was Ayanda tied with?
I was going to tie her and Lassie because I feel like they were like twins, man.
Okay.
Like,
Okay,
is it fair? Is it fair, right?
Yes, that's fair.
So number 2 is Ayanda and Lassie.
That's fair.
Oh, they fed off each other's energy.
Gay.
You know?
Yeah.
And remember, Housewives in Durban, it was the first franchise in Durban, right? Or the second franchise in South Africa, right? So they did it their way. They brought the Zulu flavor on the show, which made it amazing.
They spoke to the show.
To what the show is about.
100%.
Because Multi Choice was like, we have Houses of Joburg, they're very fancy, well, classy and all that. We want Durban girls. But for Mama Baba Zulu, Mave Kuluma, Uzuti, Kona Lonto, and they gave me that. For me, it's a tie,
Sure. Number 3.
Number 3 on Houses of Durban. Can I say any?
Okay.
Annie was a good housewife.
She ate.
She ate. And also Annie was an antagonist, right?
Yes.
Annie was always coming for asking the questions that people don't want, to being asked, right? So Annie was that girl. I miss Annie on the show.
But a bit hypocritical because when it was her turn.
When it was her turn. She's like that.
Yeah.
Like, but Annie, good housewife, okay? So that's my number
4.
That's
Annie's your number 3.
Yeah, that's number 3 because we have a tie there, okay?
Number 4.
Number 4. Who was on that show? Who was on Housewives of Durban? I forgot you guys. I've forgotten about you.
Halala.
Who else is on that show? Let me think. Nah, this season, no one is memorable, to be honest. No shade.
Yeah. Is Sorisha not your favorite?
You know what?
Yeah?
We'll get there. Maybe.
Right.
We'll get there.
Speaking of which, right?
We'll still have 3, right?
Yeah, we're on number 4 now.
Number 4.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to
and
go
you
4.
can't even remember anybody. So I think let's just.
No, I have people in mind.
Let's go.
Let's go. You want us to go there?
We're doing a top 5.
KG. Yeah. KG from season 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
KG was a great housewife.
How so?
KG was a great housewife. It's just that we were not ready for her.
Okay.
We were not ready because maybe, you know what, we're also hypocrites as viewers sometimes. Just because someone is coming for your fave, is coming for Mabusi, is coming for Ayanda, and then you end up not liking them and sort of overlook their contribution on the show. Listen, that girl stood, toe to toe with the Zulu girls. It was like Akili Sabi, in a broken Zulu. And I like her, honestly. I think she brought a lot to the show. At number 5, this person, I like her as a person, and because I think you guys gonna see more of her personality going forward. Jojo is a great housewife. She's a fun housewife. People are gonna see more of her personality going forward because Nonku will not be around.
Yes.
Right? And Jojo is a great housewife. She's got a great personality. I just need her to stop trying to be a people pleaser.
Yeah.
Like, I think she's always trying to lean to someone. She does not need to lean to someone, right?
Yeah.
So for me, that's my top 5. Everyone, honestly, that has been on the show on the past seasons has been amazing. We've had amazing people on the show. It's just that those ones are the ones that come on top of my head, the most, yeah.
I see red flags because 90% of your list are people who have left.
Really?
Yes, there's only Jojo.
So now you're right. That's a red flag,
so now,
actually.
What does that mean for the longevity of the show?
Ooh.
And we lost the big player, Nongu. Question now, who's gonna replace Nongu?
No one will replace Nongu.
Those are big shoes to fill. And I mean, even now, I still see a lot of lassie wannabes on the show.
Oh, my word.
And it's so cringe. It's so awkward.
I've seen it too when I'm like, okay, lassie speaks like this. But,
Who do you think is going to replace Nongu though?
I think if they go back to the drawing board, because we need a crazy character, someone who has some level of delusion, and I think Nonku had that on the show.
Great level of delusion.
You need that on the show.
Yeah.
For me, if Tato from Cape Town was based in Durban, I would have asked Tato to join Houses of Durban. You remember Tato?
Yes,
Tato would have been a great addition to the Houses of Durban because I think Tato is unhinged. possibly a Crystal, because Crystal is from Durban also.
Oh,
Yeah, and
yes.
she studied in UKZN. I think Crystal or Tato. But the thing is, Crystal, I think we've seen her too much right now. I don't know. I feel like maybe she needs to go back to her corner in Joburg. Yeah, I think we've seen her too much of Crystal right now.
Yeah.
But I think if I could have asked Tato to come to Durban, or bring Liz from GQ to Durban.
What about Kotu? That's a big thing on people's lips.
People
She's
want
got
Gugu,
it.
but is she not?
Is she not what?
Is she not? Well, I love Gugu. I think Gugu would make a great housewife in Durban. I think Durban she fits. But looking at the history between her and what happened in the Real Houses of Johannesburg, I hope that probably in the future she can still join.
Yeah.
Because certain things. I mean, if the whole show was scrapped out, I don't know if they'd allow it to be in Durban. Yeah. I don't know, but I think I would love to see Gugu. Gugu is a force, eh?
And she's got it.
But I don't think she would do Housewives, honestly. Maybe she would do other shows, but I don't see her doing Housewives.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Gugu is a great addition.
She is a great addition. Let's talk about casting.
Yeah.
That was a great issue on this last season.
Precise.
I mean, we've got Sorisha.
Yeah.
Social hierarchy, finance, marital status up there.
Yeah.
And then you get an Angel. I'm talking about her first season there.
Yeah.
She's just Angel.
Yeah.
How does that work?
What do you mean?
Like how do we, I mean, if we're saying Real Housewives,
Yeah.
I mean, even Angel mentioned that Nongu offended her when she asked, why is Angel here? And it's also a question for me. Why is Angel casted? Besides providing a comedic relief, what is she ticking? What boxes is she ticking for her to be on the same show with somebody who has a husband, who has money, who has the houses, who has the cars, who has the lifestyle, essentially?
You also spoke about longevity.
Yeah.
I don't know what the casting directors had in mind.
Yeah.
But I think when you look at someone like Angel, they could potentially be the future of the show. So you do need matured ladies and stuff, but you also need the young ones who will grow with the show,
Gotcha.
right? Not a lot. Mostly it should be married people. Maybe you have one person like Angel who's not married. But we will see her evolve with the show like Portia, So we might see Angel get married on the show. Maybe if God blesses her with children, be a mother on the show. So I think maybe that's their vision, that Angel might be the future of the Real Housewives of Durban. So she has potential of becoming an anchor. I saw it when she was in a car with Fafa, when they were starting to talk about Londie. She was like, guys, and
We're
others
not
body
doing
shaming.
that.
She says, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
So I think the producers also look at the longevity of the show, and we do want someone who's going to grow with the show.
Sure.
But I do understand people are really concerned. They're like, yeah, no, why did you cast these people? Another thing is, I've sat in casting rooms, right? And I've consulted for some of the housewives that I can't mention in South Africa.
Yeah.
It's very tricky getting people like Sorisha. It's very, like, Sorisha loves TV. She was born for TV.
She's an actress.
She's an actress,
Yeah.
and she's done a lot of even the original Real Houses of Durban that did Joburg, that did not go on screen. She was part of that whole movement. But then it's so hard convincing people to join the show. I know that sometimes we sit with 50 names and we call everyone, we meet everyone, and you find that someone says yes, but the husband says, no, we're not going to do that.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes it's very tricky getting casting on the show. For example, I normally see people on the comments saying, oh, why didn't you consider this person on the Real Houses of Durban? I'm like, if they only know what the producers go through, the meetings, the calls, the meetups with people. Sometimes the person says yes, maybe 2 weeks before.
We go all the way.
All the way. 2 weeks maybe before the show, someone says, no, I'm not doing this. I'm scared. But also now what's blocking wealthy and people well-established people from joining show is the reputation also. Yeah. Once the show has become a little bit ghetto, You know, people are like, I don't want to associate my brand with this.
person.
You know, if a show has, for example, who would not want to be associated with the Houses of the Winelands and Pretoria because they had some level of class, right? Or maybe Mami Club, Sugar and Spice, because those shows have class. So people don't mind going to those shows. But with the reputation of the show also blocks people from, or rather it does sort of hinders people from wanting to join the show, you know?
Speaking of Mrs. Naidu, I am of the opinion that has become bigger than the show.
You think so?
In a South African context, I do.
I think so too.
Yeah. And I mean, even on episode 1, I don't know if that was deliberate or what. The fact that they emphasized that Uncle Viv 10 million set aside. If you say this against my wife, I'm coming for you. And I felt like the rest of the season, she was the grootman. And now everyone is trying not to step on her toes, not to go against her.
Yeah.
Now they were all a bunch of yes women.
But that's why it's great to have other wealthy women who's like, you can't scare me with your 10 million girl.
Yeah.
Bring a Camilla.
It's only Jojo who can do that.
Yeah, bring a Camilla from the Real Houses of Cape Town who would be like, listen, I'm not mad. Bring in Anita from the Winelands who's like, okay, you know, Sorisha needs her peers.
Yes.
People are going to be like, girl, please don't tell me about that. I can come for you also.
Yes.
So I think when you cast people who sort of feel like banga pants and so they're going to be like, oh, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. And the only person, you know, one person who left a mark one season is Zamangcobo. Zamangcobo is one person who came for, who was not scared of Sorisha. Zama was not scared of Sorisha, honestly. She was just like, if this is the truth, this is the truth. You know, Zama was gold.
Chef's kiss,
Yeah.
ne? So season 6, Sorisha, renewer or agahambe?
No, I would still love to see Sorisha.
I
got a new. I got a new. No, man, no. I feel like Sorisha is the anchor of the show, honestly. What's Houses of Durban without Sorisha? And also remember, the show gets to be watched by people abroad, right? And let me tell you something, they do watch the show. Because I've sat in meetings with some people in the offices at NBC. They watch the show, they know everyone. So you want a show whereby if they are watching it, they're like, okay, this is Real Housewives, you know? This is, she can represent us. You know, let's say maybe there was a girls' trip, international girls' trip for all the girls around the world. At least we can send Sorisha there, you know? She has a Birkin, she can compete with others. You know, we won't be scared that, hey, oh my word, hey, she's gonna go
we
there.
Love my sorry.
You
We
know?
love, and the fashion this season.
Yeah.
10, she ate.
Yeah, she's got amazing designers.
And every episode she ate, and the face card.
Yeah.
Speaking of face card,
Yeah.
I've seen a change in the ladies. We'll get back to the casting. A physical change. Okay. I want to talk about the aesthetic trope. Angel had a gap.
Yeah.
Angel went to close her gap. Her Majesty
went to the boobs,
she did teeth. She did boobs. Mrs. Mops, BBL.
Nonku has done a lot of stuff. She's
doing her face. Nongu is doing her face. What do you think reality does to women as far as their physique? Jojo is an ambassador for it. She comes back from the table. She wants to jump to another table. What do you think reality TV does to the psyche of women? And also now, what about the other women who watch them and they see all that?
And you know that but also, I mean, that's a premise of the show. You know, when the show started in Orange County, those ladies were doing everything on their body, you know, because the thing is, they're housewives, they're bored, they don't have anything to do. So they're always fascinated with, like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do this. There's also peer pressure within their circles. Oh, someone has just done something, you know, let me also go do it. That's the nature of the show, to be honest. It's been always like that. Maybe it's a story for another day as to what then what that does, of course, to the viewers, you know. But also when you watch yourself, right? Once you watch yourself on TV, it's different than looking at yourself in the mirror. The moment you watch yourself on TV, you're like, I think I can fix that. That doesn't look nice, right? I think I need to have a BBL, you know. I think it's that. But also, we cannot deny the fact that also most of these surgeries are also sponsored. Let's not pretend as if everyone is paying for these surgeries. They also get, because the moment you're on reality TV, these clinics, they understand that your Hazel is now has a huge reach.
Eyes.
So think of Mami Club. Mami Club is watched by millions of people. So this doctor would be like, so she has this reach on this platform throughout Africa. Let me offer her a treatment in Turkey, you know, because I'm gonna get access to those people. And you find that maybe someone said, "Oh, I did something in Turkey," and then the viewers are gonna be like, "Oh, okay, let me also go there," you know. So I think there's also that element of business.
Yeah. Man, I think maybe I just don't have that bag yet, or I'm just not in that environment. But between you and me, I prefer the old Nini with that nose, with that tone. I prefer her.
And she was more funny.
She was.
It's something about these surgeries. They
dim them down.
It's like they steal your soul.
They dilute them.
For real.
100%.
For real. Like you find that someone, the moment they have the surgery, they like now, like, Nini was crazy with the whole bob thing in the, she was
the hairstyles
and the teeth and all that.
Understand.
Even if she comes back on the show, she will no longer be our Nini. That, I think something about also, honestly, maybe it's another conversation, honestly, something about these surgeries, just take something from someone,
They do.
And people don't know, we love you for who you are if you join a show. We love you for who you are.
And these women are gorgeous.
They are gorgeous.
Like Mrs. Mobs, you are so beautiful. And I'm just worried because the Botox all ends up the same because it ends up migrating. And Mrs. Mobs is starting to have a Botox face.
Really?
Which is so unfortunate because she is such a beautiful,
naturally beautiful
woman.
Girl. Yeah. Mm.
But yeah, anyway, we will never understand. We too broke.
You've never done anything.
No.
Really, I'm surprised. When there's two images of you, there's one on social media, there's you in real life. You like in social media, I would think you're a baddie, but then in real life, you're very reserved, like conservative. I'm like, girl.
Let's go back to the casting.
Yeah.
Ayanda and her twin. Renew or Agahambe? From me, it's Agahambe and her twin. Wena? Agahambe.
You know what? The twins, I like them. Amazing people.
Yeah.
But I just think on Housewives, their story is not landing. Maybe they need a different platform.
What is their story?
Well, they have a story. I mean, their father, and they have a lot of stories to tell. They did a lot of things on the show that did not make cut, really giving back to the community. I feel like that's great content, but I think the twins would do well on the Mami Club.
Then the Real Housewives.
Real Housewives is very cutthroat. It's not for the faint-hearted. I think the twins are perfect for TV, but not maybe the Housewives may not be necessarily the right platform for them to showcase all these amazing things they're doing. The twins are doing amazing. They're giving back to the community.
They are corporate women.
Listen.
They are wives. Yeah. They have husbands. It's really beautiful, but
it is.
I like how you put it. Not for the Real Housewives franchise. Lo Sithole.
She has potential. She has potential of being a great housewife. She's very funny. But my issue with her is like, what else Lo will show us? Because this season she did not show us anything besides her moving houses, We only saw her personality coming out when Nonku would do something to her, and then she starts coming out. But then Nonku will not be there to provoke you, So what are you going to show us? She is Uma Mfundis. Can we see you going to church? What's happening behind the scenes, there was just nothing, honestly. So in terms of storyline, I would like just open up a bit. We don't know what's your background, Lo is, besides being Uma Mufundisi, she's a businesswoman, and we did not get to see that aspect, So she has potential, but I'm just thinking, what is she gonna give us? And it's very tricky also being a leader of a church because a lot of people are looking up to her, and it's very scary because I think she doesn't know whether even if she does something, maybe people could misconstrue that to something else, right? Yeah. So I think, and then I think the only person for me that I would love to see return amongst the newbies is Fafa.
Yes.
Fafa Fafa gave us everything, honestly.
100%. I think my 2 cents kalo is, if you're not going to bring your personality, you might as well stay at home. And for that reason, I think agahambe. Fafa 100% aga renew. Gorgeous girl.
Yeah.
Love the storyline. I just wish at the reunion, the host is going to ask if she cheated on her husband. And she gets a platform to answer that question. Because I still don't understand what Fafa is saying with that story. What is Fafa saying? Maybe you heard her better than me. What is she saying?
Wait for the reunion. Wait for the reunion. There's going to be revelations at the reunion.
Yeah.
There's going to be revelations at the reunion. This is going to... I know people are thinking, oh, Nonku is not there. Minnie is not there. But there's going to be a good reunion.
Yeah.
Especially part 2 is going to surprise people.
Speaking of reunions...
Yeah.
Reunions used to be a place where we get justice and and the truth.
Yeah.
But reunions seem to be a place where we are left more angry and frustrated,
more questions
with no answers.
Yeah.
And the big thing is casts just simply not coming to reunions.
I know that.
And even having the audacity to go to podcasts. Yeah. Ish, man, something's gotta give.
Wait,
what's the chat there?
I heard people say contracts on housewives should include a clause that
Absolutely.
There is a clause. You are contractually obligated to attend the reunion. But I always say, we all know that stealing is a crime. But does it stop people from
stealing?
It doesn't.
Yeah.
So a contract really will not force you from your house to go to the reunion. They even have sometimes measures to say, maybe this is an example. Let's say maybe you get 1,000 rands to do a show, right? They would say you'll get 400 rands and then the other 600 rand you'll get it after doing the reunion. Some people don't even care, about that. And ask yourself, and also the contract would say maybe production will take legal action against you. But then I'm thinking, why would I waste money as production? It's too late anyway. It's not going to bring you back to the reunion. So it's very tough. I think people must just be told, hey guys, please take this serious. I don't know. And the issue is podcasts are always ready also to receive those people because we know they bringing money also because the moment you bring a Minnie here,
you are getting double your
right?
numbers.
Yes,
yeah.
Because the person is no longer going to the reunion. Let me say this name. Can I look at the camera?
Yes.
If you're part of a reality show, please attend the reunion. It's very important for you to redeem yourself. And even if you think the odds against you, fans do not like you, go to the reunion, plead your case. Look at Vui on the Mummy Club. Vui went to the reunion. People did not like her. But after the reunion, she gained a lot of fans.
Yeah.
And people were like, we love this woman. We respect this woman. Look at Her Majesty. She went to the reunion. She gave a nice PR answer. She was like, I'm sorry. Go to the reunion. Fans, and don't bend bridges. Because the moment you decide not to go to the reunion, you will, according to Housewives contract, you will not come back on the show. You will not come back on the show.
And you will always have that label that we put on you on social media.
It'll always be a cloud. I can't go into detail, but it does a lot of opportunities that you'd normally get, you will not.
Yeah.
Look at someone like Kongo. Like Kongo came to reunions and now she's venturing into TV presenting. She's a SAFTA award-winning TV presenter. And she got those opportunities because she honored her contract on Housewives. Because some projects, honestly, before you get a project, they call your people on Housewives, the producers and the directors, be like, how was
a reference?
Yeah,
check.
for reference.
Yeah.
Can we rely on this person? Be like, no, we can't. This person did not show up to the reunion. Even on Girls Trip, for you to go there, they call back to your show that, are you reliable for you to go there?
Yeah. The biggest, obviously, there's 3 people. There's Peladi. I watched her podcast on Owame's show.
Yeah.
And but I don't want us to go there. There is Nongu,
Yeah.
who is not coming
Yeah.
to the podcast. You know, my analysis, tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
I think Nongu is not coming to the podcast, to the reunion, because she knows that she insulted Sorisha.
Really?
Yes.
What did she say?
Remember in the first episode of the season, there was the issue of that gaspant, Maria's gaspant.
The word that was used last season, the S word.
100%. And she knew that they were going to play it back. Nongu is very calculative.
Okay.
So I think it wasn't even about that piece of paper. And if she was a real one, Lehona, as the way she was claiming to be an OG, she would have read that piece of paper. What was so worse about that piece of paper that made her chew that paper? I think she's making it look like it was what was written there, but I don't think it's what was written there. I think she was scared of Uncle Viv and his 10 million.
No, not really. I don't think Nonku is...
That's my theory.
Okay, that's your theory.
Yeah.
I don't think Nonku is really scared of that. Nonku has had a lot of reasons not to come back on the show, especially after the whole Ayanda backlash. The public hated her, but she still decided to come back on the show. I don't think it's even about Viv or Sorisha. And Sorisha and Nonku actually are very much in good terms, I think her reasons are probably deeper than we think, and I think production probably honored the decision that, what, girl, if you want to sit at home, sit at home. Her reasons are deep. I think Nonku was also tired. I think I sense a lot of fatigue. It's not easy being on a show that has been running. It was her 5th season, and mostly the discussions were around her. Of course, she was like a force multiplier, the instigator, but not necessarily an instigator, but yeah, she would do things to also, provoke people. But I think she was tired at some point. It does get tiring. Reality TV eats your soul. I remember even with Londie when she came back from Jamaica, right? Londie was off from social media and all of that because of what happened in Jamaica drained her so much.
Yeah.
Drained her so much. So it does drain your soul. I think Nonku was at that point whereby she was like, my cup is empty. I don't think she was running away from anything specifically.
Yeah. And I saw her on Untied. I watched the full thing. I sat down. And I took away the fact that she's been through a lot.
Yeah, she's been through a lot.
As far as men are concerned. And she is a strong woman.
Yeah.
Very resilient, very tough. But she still lacks accountability.
You think so?
A lot of accountability. Nongu deflects so much. And it's scary for someone her age to be deflecting.
Why do you say she's deflecting? Let me hear you.
She deflects a lot. I remember now I was watching also a recent episode. They were talking about something very simple.
Yeah.
Oh, it was about, I think, being late at an event. And instead of just saying, I messed up, I should have been here on time, I'm sorry. She went on a whole tyrant about how, do you know if I gave the excuse?
Yeah.
Why didn't you ask me what made me late?
Okay.
And I think maybe a lot of this comes from her relationship with all these men who have put her through a lot. I don't know. But
Okay,
you know why?
You know what, with reality TV?
Yeah.
There's a way in which we do live. For example, if I wronged you generally, maybe I stepped on your shoe, I would generally say I'm sorry in real life.
And we move on.
But this is reality TV.
Yeah.
I'm being messy. As a producer, I wouldn't want you to just say sorry right away. I want you to give a person a run around before you say you're sorry. That's reality TV. This is a business.
Okay.
In life, generally you'd be like, I'm sorry guys, I'm late. I know, but this is TV. You need to be like, but why didn't you call me and ask me why I'm late? So that it creates a conversation.
Gotcha.
So Nonku, I think, understood the assignment that we're here to make a show. As much as one could say it's deflection, but it's also TV. It's TV business. Things that we don't do in real life, we sort of do them on reality TV show and even exaggerate them.
Got you. Speaking of Nonku, obviously her close person was Jojo.
Yeah.
And I see now there's an online discourse about Jojo being a racist.
Really?
Yes. Jojo is a racist and Jojo used the black
Nonku to
lady.
sanitize the name.
Yes. What's your take on that?
Oh my word. I think Nonku and Jojo, they call it trauma bonding.
Yes.
Jojo has been in an
The
abusive relationship, and then
And Nonku as well,
yes, as well. I
yes.
think it was more like trauma bonding, in a way. And then they started nursing each other's wounds. And then the friendship at some point, I think they really had a genuine friendship.
Yes.
I don't even think it had anything to do with race. They genuinely had a good friendship. I can't say Jojo used her to sanitize her name necessarily. I mean, if I want to sanitize my name, why would I surround myself with Nonku, who's messy, who says black men cheat and then white men buy? I think it was a genuine friendship, but there was also a level of trauma bonding there.
Yeah.
And then it got to a toxic point whereby I think sort of on Jojo's side, Jojo didn't want to lose Nonku because everyone was sort of against her. I can't say she had burnt bridges, but Annie was no longer there. Sorisha was no longer there for her. So Nonku was the only person on her corner. And she's like, oh, flip now. What will I do? You know, Nonku is my everything right now. And then she started relying so much on Nonku, depending so much on Nonku, that if Nonku would say jump, she would say how high, you know. And also, with this is not necessarily Jojo, but I've noticed on Housewives play a game whereby if I join a show, you want to align yourself with a powerful cast member. That's generally reality TV. Someone joins in on the show.
It's life, actually.
Yeah, someone is gonna be like, let me associate myself with the strongest one,
game,
right? So
yeah.
Nonku is not necessarily the most loved, but we know she was the number one, cast member in a way, right? So you wanna sort of lean towards her. So it
So are you
gives
saying Nonku is bigger than Sorisha?
in terms of reality TV,
Yes.
I do think so.
Cool.
I do think Nonku.
It's saying money.
Not
reality
money, in terms of
TV.
reality
Got
TV.
you.
Because, I mean, what do you know about Sorisha?
No, I get it. Remember, it was also on the cards in the last trip.
Yeah.
You
You
who's
think
the
you're the
real
queen.
Yes.
Yes, so Sorisha is the anchor of the show. I mean, I think, yeah. But, I mean, in terms of reality, we all know Nonku is crazy. She's vulnerable. She's shown us. We've seen her meet RD, break up with RD on the show.
Fight for a room that's not hers.
There was a special one. She gave us good entertainment. I think in terms of reality TV, Nonku delivers. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, speaking of Jojo, I ordered a fake Birkin on Shein.
Yes. Oh, child.
And then I saw Sharice's response to those blue bags.
Yeah.
Did I not return that bag?
You did.
I returned that bag because the queen said that. Why would I buy a copy of an original?
Oh my word.
I got renew, Sorisha. I got renew.
She needs to come back.
Let's talk about Londie London.
Okay.
She was a cast member.
Yeah.
She left. She came back this season as a supporting cast. Love her. I really hope Uya renew as a season 6. And I think on a personal note, Londie getting humiliated and embarrassed the way that she did
It was a blessing in
was the
disguise
best thing
for her.
that could have happened to her.
I think so too.
Look at how she is just
elevating.
You know what I mean?
And it took Minnie to come for her to elevate that much. And for her to realize she's got a solid fan base. Londie has a solid fan base. Do I want to see her again on the show next season? Maybe.
I got renew.
You think so?
Yes.
Maybe.
Or maybe.
I think, you know
Why?
what?
Why you?
You know what?
Yeah.
I loved Londie this season.
Okay.
I saw a human side to her.
That we didn't see then when she was in her house. Yeah.
This side, we saw someone come for her, right? And we saw her cry. Like I've seen her cry when the whole men thing and that, but not her cry because someone came for her character. It shows that she's got something that she's living for. She's got there's more to her, you know. So I think this season honestly showed us another side to her. And unfortunately took the whole Minnie situation for us to see that.
Yeah.
Because on that season, honestly, I think her presence was overshadowed by the back and forth between her and Nongu, you know. And even on Girls Trip, we saw her and Nongu.
Again,
We've not really seen you that what are your strong points and where are you weak? You know, we saw that, okay, if someone comes for a character, you know, her livelihood and questions her character, she's sensitive. For me, I liked her this season because we got to see that. And I would like to see probably her next season. If she's, because the thing is she not based in Joburg?
She is. I
She's,
was thinking about that.
That's why maybe I'm thinking logistics wise.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't want this thing whereby we get people who don't stay in a city, bring them just for a show. This is not a movie. I'm sorry. We're not filming a movie where we're gonna film in a location. This is reality. The show says the Real Housewives of Durban. I feel like it, for me, can we have people who are based in the city, who are living in the city? I love it when they bring. Londie was a great addition, but it's nice if we get people who are in the city. I feel like it's much better, even logistics wise, you know?
That's valid. That's valid. You know, the problem with performative Christianity is it doesn't last.
It doesn't.
And it also still exempts you from accountability of what you said or what you did. Because they are quick to say, only God can judge me.
Yeah.
Only God knows my heart. But girl,
I think I know where you're going with
we
this.
are there. We have arrived.
Just say it like you mean it.
Minnie who was introduced as an MC.
Yes, I remember.
At Lowe's events. Very loud and overwhelming, even as an MC. My personal opinion of her, even with the old videos now that I see resurfacing, is that she tries so hard. She is what is it? She's an impersonator. I don't know who she is.
She's impersonating, yeah.
Marawa Egta, she's not herself. She is, I don't know who she is or what she tries so hard and it's just not,
I get you.
It's not coming through.
I have a different theory.
Yeah.
Minnie is herself. Those who have known Minnie, Minnie's always been like that. She's been loud like that. She's been that loud girl. Minnie is being used. And she's in trouble now because she was used.
By who? By what?
Let me tell you something. Minnie is not fighting her battles. She has no reason to hate on Londie. And listen to me. I think Minnie, there were people on the show who saw Londie coming in and they were like, oh, flip, Londie's a bombshell. And she seems to be getting all the attention. They sort of met, as we know that they even met at some point and discussed that we're not going to wear these designer things.
Yes.
Right? I think they all met and were like, no, we're going to make life difficult for Londie. So, but she decided, you know, when we all decided we're going to confront someone and then you do the most, right? You do the most.
And you look like the leader.
You look like the leader.
Yeah.
And then those people sort of, you know,
they keep quiet.
They step back a bit and then you are now in trouble. I think it's one of those things whereby we all decide to say, oh, let's go rob a bank. And then boom. And then you do the most there. You left behind. They're like, no, okay, we did not say, we did not say 1.5 million. You know, why are you doing too much? I think, honestly, Minnie has no reason of coming for Londie like that. You know, I
but
think.
Minnie is the one who spoke about Ama Exoshonile.
Because Minnie, she decided to do too much. Others, and I do see those that were working with her at the reunion turning against her and saying, oh no, we are not involved. You know, I'm telling you, Minnie has no reason of coming for Londie that much. I don't think she was necessarily she was just being herself. Yeah, and well, but the good thing is she got us talking. In a business perspective, I liked her in terms of business. I think she got people talking. I've never seen so much engagement on the show before. People were like, who is this girl?
Yeah.
You know, of course she had low blows, and we cannot, downplay certain things that she said. But I think she was just herself. I don't think she was trying to be someone else. That's just who she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she a mean girl?
Is she a mean girl? Well, I mean, If you act like one, then you are. um, Again, fighting battles that you shouldn't be fighting. Why? And I'm telling you, Minnie met with people, even because they even met to discuss, I think even Nonku probably was part of those people, honestly, who were a team against Londie. And then boom, they're like, actually, we actually like Londie.
Sure.
But now you left in trouble, you're in an island now, you're the only person who hates Londie, and you've said horrible stuff, I think that's the situation with Minnie. And also, so I was having a conversation with someone. Someone was like, Minnie, I don't think Minnie believed that she belongs on the table. She was
didn't, though.
Probably trying so hard to prove that
I
belong. Hence she had to ruffle feathers and all that. I think there's a lack of confidence on her side. Yeah.
And she projected it a lot on Londie London.
Yeah.
And Londie London has a lot of confidence. Londie London has been trending.
Yes.
Londie London is known.
Oh, Londie London has a fan base. Has a fan base for days.
Let's talk about the official statement.
Yeah.
That podcast that was supposedly unscripted, but it was scripted. That was supposedly genuine. I mean, it was scripted, it was edited, it was unedited, but it was edited.
The Minnie one.
Yes.
Oh,
Her statement. It had a lot of cuts. You could see the obvious editing in it, post-production.
I didn't like the whole pictures. Pictures of Minnie. I was like, oh my word.
And she said a whole bunch of nothing.
Minnie should have said, hey guys, I apologized without any reservation. And just leave it there. Even if she didn't mean it. But anyway, even if she did apologize, I would not care. She should have gone to the reunion. That's all. Actually, to be honest, I don't care what she said in that thing. She should have gone to the reunion and speak her part. But I think Ruxi from Houses of Cape Town would say, she's defending herself before Ipume. So I think at the reunion, maybe we're gonna get something that she was just defending herself before something comes out.
Yeah. Season 6, agahambe or aga renew.
Minnie. No, you know what? If she came to the reunion, I would have said renew. Minnie is very fast with reads. She, and I wish we could have seen a fun side to her because she is a fun person. But I think for me, if you're no longer coming to the reunion, please sit down at home. Don't renew. Chivaviro.
This was such a nice recap.
We should have more of this.
Let's do it.
I'm here. We should have more of this. Yeah.
Do you have any takeaways? What are your final thoughts? What can we expect on Friday? Even from you.
Yeah, I think the show. Yeah, work-wise. Thank you. First of all, thank you for having me. I really enjoyed having myself. Sometimes I'm scared of talking because people are like, I don't know, I'm always scared of talking, but you made me feel very comfortable. So I really appreciate. That means a lot. And I think Friday, the reunion is going to be good. The reunion is really going to be good. There's going to be a lot of revelations. The show left, there were things that producers, I think, sort of left intentionally for the reunion. They're like, we're not going to use this for now. Well, the reunion is coming. So you're not going to fill the gap that Nonku is there or Minnie is not there. Because the ladies who are there, they're going to deliver. So a lot of emotions. I think it's going to be a good reunion, honestly. What else? Man. And then with me, what am I working on? Just follow me, man, on TikTok. I'm always there.
What's your handle?
Mbuyiselo Vilakazi on TikTok. I'm always there on TikTok, giving you guys the best entertainment, recaps and all of that. I'm currently enjoying Shaka Ilembe, which is something different to what I would generally enjoy reality TV. I'm enjoying Shaka Ilembe these days. Like, it's my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
Hi, Chai. You are welcome.